Hello everybody, welcome to my Lego for Beginners video. Let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 tips or 5 sort of ideas of how I think you should start Lego, or if you're introducing yourself to Lego for the first time or reintroducing yourself, some of these tips might help you with getting into it. So the first tip for Lego is to always try and start off basic. So by basic, what I mean is you can go to any store or any shop or even to a car boot or onto like the marketplace on social media and stuff like that, and just pick yourself up the basic Lego block bundles or sets. They will not have like an end goal, but they will look very much, there'll be a lot of them and they will look like this. And obviously there is varieties to them as well. The reason I recommend this is simply because if you're getting into it for the first time, you can be as creative or as crazy as you really want, and you can literally just build anything out of them, and you can just build like literally see whatever you want, and it's a really cool way to kind of introduce yourself to Lego and get into it, find out what Lego is all about and what you can do. Obviously, as you go on, you can get a bit more advanced, you can do a few more builds. You can do a few things that have just like an end goal, like the main set, so the pre-built sets. They will then sort of challenge sort of like your sort of level of Lego building and stuff like that. But that's obviously later on. For the second tip, I would say is always give yourself a good amount of space and time. I say this purely because if you're sort of trying to build with lots of stuff around you, and Lego can get very, very fiddly, and if it's all crammed into one place, it can get a little bit frustrating. And obviously, you don't want to do that because Lego is going to be fun, and in some ways it is relaxing. Sometimes it's not, but you'll learn that as you go along. But time as well is Lego can be super duper time consuming. All right, so some Lego builds may take an hour or so, but if you kind of do a little bit of like research and stuff, some Lego builds they do even tell you like a time that they will think in total it'll take. Like for example, like an extreme example, the Titanic Lego build they had is over, I think it's 10,400 plus pieces, and that has something like a 40-hour build time. Not obviously in a row, but like the sort of total build time they think or recommend is going to take around 40 hours. So this is when you kind of want to give yourself time. Obviously, don't do that in a row because that's just not very good for you. But if you want it, I mean, fair play. But that would be it. So that was my point number 2. Point number 3 is try and keep yourself really, really organized. All right. What I mean by that is obviously don't don't sort of like go crazy and color code everything unless you really want to. If that helps you, obviously do that. That's absolutely fine. But you can just sort of like organize yourself out. So what I do in mine is I have little pieces like this. I'll just grab them for you. So this is just a couple of bits from a set that I will be building in one of my next videos. Is I have them all organized into little tubs like this. As you can see here, these are the decorative bits, base bits, and then just basically the toppers or little like and hopefully you guys can see, if you can as well, try and guess what that is in the comments below the video. So what I mean, that is basically just like the organizing part of it. When you're starting out, I think that's a really good technique that I didn't used to start off with. I definitely use now that I've got more advanced in my Lego, just because it means you kind of know where everything is. When it comes in the bags, if you've got it all set out, it can be an absolute muddle. It can take a lot more time. It can get a bit more frustrating, like we said earlier in the video. And that can just be a real sort of like pain, and it can really put you off. Like there has been times where I've been building Lego and I've not organized, I've not set up, and I've just kind of gone and just given up with it. Okay, so yeah, that is obviously that one as well. So that's our point. The next one as well is do not try and push yourself too far when you're going into your Lego, and give yourself kind of like stages where you want to go through. So by that I mean it doesn't mean you have to build one thing and then kind of advance a little bit, but try and keep yourself based on sort of one kind of area of Lego. So you've kind of got Lego Star Wars, you've got Lego Marvel, Lego Jurassic World, Lego Technic, which is absolutely amazing, or you can have Lego Creator, which is sort of like the houses and the iconic buildings and stuff like that. Try and base yourself on them and start very, very basic, very, very little, and then build yourself up. And then once you get to quite an advanced level on that set, you can obviously move on to another one. It keeps you sort of like you learning as you go, and you will also sort of get quite like advanced with it. So you're kind of the instructions kind of sometimes won't be needed, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is that one. And for the fifth one, it definitely is not really a tip. It's kind of more of a recommendation. When you're doing your Lego build, I highly recommend that you have one of these. The only reason I recommend you have one of these is because sometimes Lego can get stuck. So I'll just give you a quick example. So sometimes Lego can get stuck and it's like this, or I'll say, obviously this isn't that stuck, a bit of a poor example, we'll do it again. So I'll take them apart, which is obviously quite easy because it was like that. So it's like this. If they're left together for a long time, they can be quite difficult to pull apart and they can get stuck and it can be quite painful in your hands. So obviously with a little tool, you just put it on the end and you can literally just wedge it on and you can put it and it just pulls apart just like that. So I highly recommend getting one of those for yourselves if you can. They will do them in most sort of toy stores and things like that, or some of them even come with them because they just do save you a lot of time so you're not fiddling or you haven't got to run downstairs and get your partner or your mum or something like that, or the next door because you know she's got long nails. It's just really helpful and it saves you little fingers too. All right, so that is kind of the main tips that I would go by when I'm doing Lego. Well, when I was beginning on Lego, that's kind of the things I wish that someone had sort of told me. And they're kind of basics. I think it's probably best to try and cover when you're doing your little Lego videos. Like I said, this has been nice and short as well. What I'll do now is just towards the end of the video, I'll show you a little clip that I made earlier of how I organize my Lego to give you kind of a nice idea of how you could organize yours. Obviously, if you want to organize in a different way, you want to set up differently, absolutely fine. My Lego collection of sort of the creators build is a little bit different, so I've got loads of things mixed up. You obviously don't need that much. You can buy just 2 or 3 like Lego creator sets and then just mix them up if you want to. And you can obviously have the starter blocks and the basic blocks, which is the best way to start on as well. So yeah, I'm going to show you the little video just after this. And then we're going to, so that's it really. That's kind of my very quick little insight on how to build for beginners. Obviously, if you found any of the tips in this video helpful, if you've enjoyed anything you've seen, or if you have enjoyed the video, maybe even had a giggle or learned something new or learned a new technique, please do hit that thumbs up in this video. This is my first one, and obviously I'm introducing myself to you guys. So please do hit that thumbs up one. Please give me any feedback if you want to give me any recommendation or any tips that you guys think are going to be useful or that you guys use. I'd love to hear how you guys sort of set yourselves up to build your Lego. Please do hit us with any recommendation of sets you want to build, or any ideas you think that, like, you want to come up with, anything like that. And please do hit that sub button, guys, as well. Obviously, it's free, and it'll help me as a creator. And again, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that thumbs up for me. Please do hit the sub button as it is free. As I said before, all the information will be in the description below, and all other information like social medias, donations, if you want to. Obviously, never expected, always appreciated. They are in the channel description as well. You guys have been amazing. I'm Lego Man, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.